Blessings. Welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today we're out of Proverbs chapters 25 through 27. Like all the days prior to this, just some incredible takeaways. And we're going to jump right into it. If I can keep this thing from falling down. And we're going to hit some of these highlights, some really good ones. Again, I'm really, read Proverbs 100 times, but never looked at it from like an investigator 101 basic class. But there's so much information that a young officer could learn from and glean from, and that would really help him carry him through his career. Chapter 25 verses 8 through 10 says, "Do not go out hastily or argue your case, otherwise what will you do in the end when your neighbor humiliates you? Argue your case with your neighbor and do not reveal the secret of another, or he who hears it will reproach you, and the evil report about you will not pass away." We talked yesterday about how your reputation on the street is critical, and how important it is to build trust with the people of your community. And this obviously is not titled for law enforcement, but man, does this not go right along with what our daily duties are. The street officer who's getting information on a gang who's breaking into houses, or just, the implications are endless. So this is great wisdom for us to take away and to pass on to other officers, especially if you're a field training officer. Don't jump to conclusions. This verse makes that very clear. Don't make quick judgments. Get all the facts. Don't be surprised by something that you failed to follow up on, and then a fact or circumstance is brought in later, and just like this says, you're humiliated because you didn't do a proper investigation. So good stuff. Chapter 25 verses 21 and 22 says, "Be kind to those who hate you." How many times, month after month, year after year, a bad video comes to light, and it's only every couple of months or every couple of years, because it doesn't happen that often. Police brutality is a very rare thing nowadays, especially with cameras everywhere, and the fact that people say that it's rampant. Well, if that were the case, they would bring out facts to prove that. But if you look at what's going on, they never bring out facts. There's never, look at these 20 or 30 examples of this. They're not there. So they run on people's emotions and try and build up an emotional response because they don't have the facts to back it up. But that's not what this is about. That leads to this. This says, be kind to those who hate you. They will hate you. But the people that hate you are in the vast minority. They are just the vocal minority. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. You got, for every one that hates you, you probably got 20, 40, 50 who love you, who appreciate what you do. So remember that. But there will be those who hate you. And even the New Testament, it says, pray for those who curse you. Love those who hate you. So that's a commandment for us as law enforcement that we've got to carry out. Chapter 26, verse 10. "The one who hires does the damage." If you were involved at all in any kind of recruiting, pay particular attention to this, because it's important to really investigate the people that you're looking for backup for the rest of us who work this job. Okay, we don't want some fly off the handle ball of rage who quick to anger to come out and screw things up in our community. So this verse very specifically says it's not the fool who does all the damage, it's the one who hired him that did all the damage. 27 verse 4, "When looking for motive, remember this verse. Wrath is fierce and anger is a flood, but who can stand before jealousy?" The greatest motive of all that kind of puts the others to shame is jealousy. Again, basic investigator stuff. Chapter 27, verse 14. "How blessed is the man who fears always, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity." And the reason I want to bring this one up is because this is easily overlooked by, somebody saying, I'm not afraid, I'm not fearful. Blessed is the one who fears always. Oh, I don't fear. No, it's basically saying wise men fear to, or fools rush in where wise men fear to tread. Be cautious, stand back, evaluate, don't just rush in. And when it says the one who fears, it's more like the one who is cautious, the one who is smart, who is tactful, and he looks to see where his threats are, looks to see where his quick exits are, routes of escape, those kinds of things. Don't let that word fear make you just disregard this verse altogether. Look at it as the one who is cautious versus the foolish person who just rushes in. So a lot of great takeaways from today. Tomorrow we're in Proverbs 28 through 28 and 29. There's only 2 tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you back here. Be safe out there.